Hello everybody and welcome to Slovenia. So the initial plan was to explore Slovenia for quite a while. However, upon research, it appears that Slovenia, especially in the summer in high season, isn't very good for camper vans because apparently, first of all, it's highly illegal in this country and there's so many people getting big fines for camping, wild camping, and the police are patrolling a lot. This is what I've discovered on the internet. Normally this wouldn't put me off, especially in England where it's already illegal anyway, but I just park on National Trust car parks wherever. This doesn't make a difference to me. But in a foreign country, I'm not too sure. So I am just going to spend a few days here likely to see where I've always wanted to see Lake Bled. There's a train in the background. And we've just got a nice campsite here. I'll put the place name, I forgot what it was called. I'll put it just at the end of this screen. And got an incredible river here. I think it's about an 18-minute drive from Lake Bled, which is one of the biggest tourist attractions in Slovenia. Already, fantastic country, amazing views, amazing rivers, amazing landscape. So what I saw on the internet was that apparently in Slovenia, the law is that even if a farmer grants you permission or a landowner grants you permission to camp on his land in your camper van, it's still against the law and the police can still inflict a fine. Does that not go to show that the controllers still don't feel like that's their land? It still belongs to the government, in their opinion, in the government's opinion, unless it shouldn't make a difference to them. That's their land. We've got a right to stay on their land. We've got a right to stay all over the world. We're free sovereign beings. And yet they like to think, the ones higher up, that they can control every aspect of everyone's lives, scaring people with fines, when it's probably likely that they can't enforce anyone once you know the true law. Anyway, it's crazy. So the place that we are in at the moment, where the campsite is a place called Globoko. If that's how it's pronounced. First time in, don't laugh. First time in Slovenia. I'm trying to pick up these terms. Do you know any different? Do you know any Why don't you try and pronounce it instead?
Globoko.
Globoko. Globoko. This it looks like a dry, once man-made kind of dry stream or an old riverbed that is being built like at the sides. This is going round the campsite. The campsite's just round here. And it flows into where the river used to be. So it looks like a stream, an old stream that's now dry. This is the horse that is at the campsite. Saw him before inside, he was dying to get out. Now he's on a little bit of a walk in his little outdoor area. So this is the campsite that we're staying at. Looks like someone's got a big fire going over there, the bonfire pit. It's a new campsite this, it's just been built recently. I think this is someone's house, but look at this. The religious paintings on here. Amazing art. Got a little well outside the house here as well. So this is the Basilica of St. Mary. I think this is one of the most, if not the most, frequently visited pilgrimage site in Slovenia. Unlike any other structure I've seen. Same design principles and all, but actual artwork on it, so unique. Got the dome here on this side going up to, I don't know exactly if that's real gold or anything, but the gold orbs on the top. The spiral of life on the right there. And just look at these columns and this entrance here. That is incredible. Got a cavity magnetron there. And you even got, look, can you see on the sides, these obelisks that we see on the ground sometimes near springs, but these are actually on the structure itself. See, in the distance we've got a cross directly in line with the structure. There would be definitely springs over there because it all works in perfect lines I've seen this all over on my travels. Look at the mountains as well in the background. So everybody, this is as close as I'm going to be able to film for you for Lake Bled, this river today, because we're just driven through and the traffic was hideous. There was not one space for my van to park. So I've come all this way to see Lake Bled and nothing. We just drove past it, seeing it just from the window, no even chance to walk up to it or to take any pictures or to connect with it at all. So we're going to press on out of Slovenia now and into Austria, which I've researched is absolutely mental, just like Slovenia for van life. Apparently, right, if you get caught, you can get like €500 fines. Sometimes, apparently, I don't know how true this is, but €15,000 fines for camping in a van. Like, that is evil, criminal. It is mad, and I don't know if they can actually enforce that or not. But if they do, it just shows the corruption of the world, you know. Absolutely disgusting for camping in a van on some land and going to sleep. So behind me is Chiemsee Lake here in Germany. So it's been a very strange, awful couple of days really actually since Slovenia. So we only stayed a day and a bit in Slovenia. Like I said, we didn't get a chance to see Lake Bled, only drive past it eventually and just take a couple of videos from the van. Well, I got Athena to take some. And then as we got past the Slovenian border into Austria, which we were planning on staying quite a while, until we also figured out that there was fines and it was bad for wild camping there in Austria. But we got past the borders, planning on staying a night in southern Austria, and as I was going downhill, the van just was smoking so bad from the brakes, and it obviously heated up so much, and I didn't feel like I was braking that much. But they then stopped working. I don't know if it's because they overheated so much, but they felt like they stopped working. And so I had to pull over in the road, in a mountain road, quite a dangerous position. And we were there for an hour. And I was like, I can't continue because it was going even more downhill. And if the brakes weren't working, it's dangerous. So we had to call the emergency services. Couldn't get in touch with my own insurance because my phone SIM wasn't working. So it was so stressful. We were an hour there, phoning the police, who got us in touch with a lorry. So they picked our van up and on the back of the lorry, take my van to the nearby town of Villach, where we stayed the night stealth camping in the mechanic's car park until the next day, when we could figure out what was wrong. I still couldn't get in touch with my insurance, spent hours on the phone, and they had a look at the brakes and said that they just overheated. So we've continued the journey now to Germany, 3.5 hours. So it's very strange. I don't know if there was actually something wrong with my brakes. They didn't seem to look like they looked at it for that long, but that's what's happened, and that's why we've skipped Austria, wanting to get on a more flatter road and enjoy Germany. Get out of Austria because of also the scaremongering of the wild camping and everything like that. But I think it is similar here, I'm not sure, but we are en route to come back now and then get into friendly France again on the way back. So right now I am not far from Rosenheim in South Germany, and I'm at a place called St. Leonard's. So this is the image on the wall here, and this is a huge bottling factory where they bottle the spring water. And I always talk about how I'm against bottling and filtration and everything like that, but here they're actually allowing us to actually fill up directly from the spring here. So I've driven half an hour from where we camped at Chiemsee, I think it's pronounced, and the bottling works is just behind me. So they've got loads of workers up and down on forklifts. I presume the spring water is piped into the factory itself, and then I reckon they filter it, and I don't know if they chemically alter it a little bit, ozonate it, sorry, or if it's just sold then directly to the customers. But I'm going to try it from this mineral spring. I'm going to fill up the bottles. Remember everybody, I always say chapels. We always have the chapels first, and the spring's right next to it where Athena is. Incredible. Always look out for little structures like this, they always mean water. So in the distance is the factory of where they bottle the water. As you can see, there's crates and crates of bottled water, and we're getting it for free, as it should be. Going to the source. The water quality that we'll be having, drinking directly from the source, will be different than the people buying this water that goes through all the filtration. These are the types of springs that we're seeing in Germany at the moment, where they've still got the flowers, but they've got all the water's coming out here. Look at this for a structure. And then I just love the way the German villages and towns are set out with all the flowers on each of the balconies. Old world structures here as well. So thank you everybody for watching this little Slovenia/Germany vlog. And I will see you on the next video. We are back now in France. We've just crossed the border, making our way back to the Isle of Albion. And it'll be good. I'm actually looking forward to going back to England as well. So yes, so there won't be too many more Europe videos to come. I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing another one. I'm not sure what I'm going to be seeing in France in the next week before we come back. But I will see you on the next video wherever it is that I am.